Aha, Dawada. Man, peace and increase, man. The J. Stu and Camellia and the wonderful Stewart family in this great time of transition. We're just talking about transition, man. Transformation. We're talking about, just being pure water, man, and what pure water represents, man. Remember, the dragonfly represents pure water. We're just talking that autochthon perspective, man. So, with your perspective, let's look at some rocks and see if we can see some dragons. Can you see the dragons in the rocks? I mean, are they petrified like your trees? Let's go. We're going to start off in Australia. I'm going to mute this hijack music, man. Let's put on some pure water, man. Come over to the site. Do it right, man. Again, man, love the sister Jazz, man. She hit us with this retread lightly, man. Let's get on in it. Smiles, what it do? Let's go. Let's dig on this retread lightly in 432. Let's look at these dragon heads, man. See what we can find, man. In that pure water. Do you see dragons in these rocks? Will you wake a sleeping dragon? This one says Sleeping Dragon, Crow Head Trail, Port Saunders. Alright, Sleeping Dragon. So again, will you wake a sleeping dragon or a sleeping giant? Will you wake your sleeping dragon? Some of these you can see the teeth, man. You can see the teeth in some of these, man. Pay attention. Do you see your dragon? Is this the nose? There you go. Do you see your dragon? This is called Dragon Rock in Australia. I mean, they're all over the place when you open your eyes and mountains of trees and you see your dragons again. Do you see your dragon? Look at this spine. You see the whole spine of the whole thing. Wow. The coastline of Mount Sandbag. This is called Dragon Head Rock in Korea. This one is the whole head. You can actually see. Make sure you can see. Alright. Pay attention to the top right. So you can actually see the nostril right here. And these are all the teeth. All this is teeth, the mouth. All this is the mouth. And look at the teeth inside, the vertical teeth. Like he was just frozen, like some magic hit him. Like they put some magic on our dragons and froze our dragons, man, into rock. Some were tricked into becoming dragonflies. About to get that. Tricked by the coyote or tricked by the fox. Look at the teeth, man. Look at the teeth. Man, there you go. Again, look at the teeth. Look at the teeth. Oh, these are the vertical teeth. Right? This is Nambia. They just call this a big reptile. Egypt Crystal Mountain. Look at the teeth. Again, you see the teeth. You see the teeth. Woo! Dragons all around us, man. I mean, if they were at war against the hijack, if they were at war against the hijack, and you were at war against the hijack, they keep saying, oh, that's the mortal enemy of mankind, of human. Well, you can get it in a lot of different perspectives, but they were not the mortal enemy of the Khan. That's what we do know. Dragon lines and dragon grids, dragon vortexes. We're going to get into a lot of drop. We're going to get into the comments because you've been dropping so much drop. Love to the family that dropped this drop, man. The dragons existed drop. So, you can dig on all this. I'm sharing y'all drop. This is a 5-part series because of you. And we're, not afraid to dig into these, so-called myths to, get the babies out and say, okay, what's the connection? And we're seeing with this dragon drop, man, that we are surrounded by these stone eggs, man. These stone eggs, man. You see, there we go. This dude is just holding a stone egg, man. Where'd he get the egg from? Oh, the stone mountain or tree. Or the tree is actually pushing these eggs out as if they were, planted or, by these dragons. And, so these dragons put their eggs or, planet, seed these trees, however they do it, man. But it seems to be miraculous because it's coming out of these ancient trees throughout Asia and I'm sure throughout the four corners. And we're going to get more into the dragon's lair. But first, man, I want to get into a great comment, man. I can't remember the name, but somebody left a great comment on one of these drops on this series about the Levitical diet. And they said with the whole Leviathan, remember we were reading about the Leviathan and, saying how the real purpose of Leviathan is to be served up as a dainty or a delicacy to the righteous in the world to come. So, of course, in your mind, you're like, whoa, that's unclean. Brother, slow down. You're going to have us eat a dragon? Well, let's just be clear. Let's be clear. When we talk dragon, in etymology, you do get giant sea fish. So then you got to take a step further and say, all right, well, which fish? Because clearly we never said the word dragon. So we're just taking this essence of this thing called dragon that they've put on a very complex essence of ours. So part of that essence is manifested in more of a sea fish. Part of it is represented in more of what you would call a traditional dragon. And there's many different species and types of dragons or sea fishes or whatever the case is. Obviously, they were, fire, water, air, and earth. So, half aquatic. Then they're on the land as well. So, it's all this combination. So first you're like, all right, well, are you trying to say we're going to eat our dragons? And of course not. Of course not. As the dragons of what we're talking about that's coming out these eggs and all that. Where's that picture again? Not this perspective, but this Leviathan doesn't necessarily have to look like this and be this type of dragon. This Leviathan, remember, the etymology of Leviathan. And this is y'all fault, man. Y'all been digging on this, and my sister's been digging on this heavy, man. So, peace to my sisters, peace to my bros, been digging on it. Come on, man, let's go. Don't fail me now. Don't fail me now. Yeah, man, so we're going to dig a little bit on etymology again, go back into, what we reading now that we know what we looking for, man. You know what I mean? All right, man, hold up. Come on now. Stop the play. Stop playing me. So I want the Leviathan drop. Leviathan, sea monster, sea serpent, all right. And then it says Hebrew, Leviathan, Leviathan. When I think Leviathan, I think Levitical. So the first thing I thought of when the, fam said, Leviathan is unclean to eat, or a dragon is unclean to eat, because you have this correlation between this Leviathan and, of course, it says dragon. So this dragon word or dragon English essence or whatever the case is, Latin essence, is being thrown on certain things. Whether they're, exactly the same or not. This is a type of dragon, according to their etymology. That is a type of dragon, according to their etymology. One dragon is not the same. So when you have this picture in your head, of, the popular dragon, there's many different essences of what would be considered a dragon. So when you look at Leviathan, it is under this essence of what they would consider a dragon. However, it's not exactly the same as some other image we've seen before. You know what I'm saying? So what is this Leviathan? A huge sea animal. A huge sea animal. And again, when I see Leviathan, I think Levitical. So I said, well, I'm sure we can prove that Leviathan or eating Leviathan would be in the Levitical law. I mean, sure, it can't be hard because Leviathan sounds Levitical to me. So we just kind of went back into it, man. Let's pull up Leviticus. All right. Let's go down right to it, man. Let's get the skinny, no fat. All right to verse 9. These shall you eat of all that are in the water. All right, let's go. Whatsoever has fins and scales. Fins and scales in the waters. Fins and scales in the waters, in the seas and the rivers, them shall ye eat, and all that have not fins and scales in the seas and in the rivers, and all that move in the waters, and of any living thing which is in the waters, they shall be an abomination unto you. All right, then it moves on to, so whatsoever has no fins nor scales in the water should be an abomination. So, okay. Ye shall eat of all that are in the waters whatsoever has fins and scales. Makes sense to me. So we got to look for proof that Leviathan is connected with fins and scales, I guess, to prove that he is actually, he is clean to eat. Even though you don't think of it because you're thinking of it as a dragon or as a sea monster. But if it has fins and scales and it's a what? Dragon, giant, sea fish. Well, again, let's look at this story of Leviathan and see if we can read it again now with the perspective of looking for fins and scales. So again, the real purpose of Leviathan is to be served up as a dainty to the pious. In the world to come, the female was put into brine. So the female Leviathan she's already getting preserved to be prepared. All right, being prepared right now for you. Is it clean though? Let's look for fish and scales. As soon as she was killed, to be preserved against the time when her flesh will be needed. But is it clean, man? The male is destined to offer a delectable sight to all beholders before he is consumed. When his last hour arrives, God will summon the angels to enter into combat with the monster. But no sooner will Leviathan cast his glance at them. Remember the connection to Revelations 12. We're going to actually look at it again. One more again, all right? Get even clearer with it. But no sooner will Leviathan cast his glance at them than they will flee in fear and dismay from the field of battle. They will return to charge with swords, but in vain, for his scales can turn back still like straw. Whoa! We're looking for fins and scales. Remember, let's make sure. And you know what I'm saying, to the fam that said that Leviathan's unclean, well, we gotta look for fins and scales before you come over here dropping all that. Fins and scales. Nah, peace. But yeah, let's slow it on down. Make sure we know whether it got the fins and the scales. Hath fins and scales in the waters. Alright, so we're looking for fins and scales. So it looked like we just found some scales. Let's go again. So Leviathan's at war, battling with these angels that's supposed to take him out so he can be eaten. He ain't having it. Alright. And this is correlating to Revelations 12. This dragon casting down these stars, these angels. Let's go. But in vain, they will return with swords, but in vain, for his scales can turn back steel like straw. His scales can turn back steel like straw. His scales can turn back steel like straw. They will be equally unsuccessful when they attempt to kill him by throwing darts and slinging stones. Such missiles will rebound without leaving the least impression on his body. Listen up, disheartened. The angels will give up the combat. So the angels give up. They're like, man, forget this. So Hawa says, all right, I got to do something. So Hawa will command Leviathan and Behemoth to enter into a duel with each other. All right, so now he has to face off with Behemoth. Now listen up. We're looking for fins and scales. The issue will be that both will drop dead, Behemoth slaughtered by a blow of Leviathan's fins. I can't make this shit up. And Leviathan killed by a lash of Behemoth's tail. The issue would be that both would drop dead, Behemoth slaughtered by a blow of Leviathan's fins. So Leviathan has fins, the fins that kill Behemoth, and Leviathan has scales, which the angels can't penetrate with their weapons. Leviathan has fins and scales. You pull it up. These shall you eat of all that are in the waters, whatsoever has fins and scales. So, maybe this sacred text ain't so crazy after all when it says, from the skin of Leviathan, Hawa will construct tents to shelter companies of the righteous while they enjoy the dishes made of his flesh, which are clean because he has scales and fins. The amount assigned to each of the righteous will be in proportion to his deserts, his lot, and none will envy or begrudge the other. None will envy or begrudge the other his better share. What is left of Leviathan's skin will stretch out over Jerusalem as a canopy, and the light streaming from it will illuminate the whole world. And what is left of his flesh after the righteous have appeased their appetite will be distributed amongst the rest of men. After Israel eats, everyone can eat, to carry on traffic therewith. Wow. And yeah, man, peace again to my sisters, man. They write on this stuff, man. You know, my sister Ty dropped, you know, something on me about just the skin illuminating the world, and how, you know, just this whole crystallization of these dragons, this crystal electric vibration, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, it just goes on and on. I mean, he's being stretched over as a canopy. So, yeah, you know, Leviathan has fish and scales is what we're getting at and what we're seeing, man. And that's pretty all right. That's pretty all right, man. Let's keep it going, man. Again, peace and power, man. Y'all got the drop in the comments. Oh, I got, you know, some comments, man. Eyes wide shut. All right, brother, sister, you know, either way, you know, peace to you. He says, drop. Psalm 74:14 KJV. Thou breakest the head of Leviathan in pieces, and gavest him to be meat to the people inhabiting the wilderness. Body bag, Daniel. Alright, so dig on it, man. Dig on it, man. Do we got it up right here? Yeah, I got it up right here, baby. Got it up right here, baby. I'm going to go back because it's even interesting. It says something about breakers the head of the dragon right here. Go to verse 12. For Hawa is my king of old, working salvation in the midst of the earth. Thou didst divide the sea by thy strength. Thou breakest the heads of the dragons in the waters. Now you just saw this drop, man. And you see your dragons. Look at the teeth. Look at the teeth. Doesn't it look like these dragons were broken upside the head, frozen, put into a you know what I'm saying, one of those cryogenic states, whatever you want to call it, man. So that shit seemed right on time. I mean, when we fell, our dragons fell too, man. Now they're being what? Reborn. Reborn. Where? Reborn out of your trees. Verse 14. Thou breakest the head of Leviathan in pieces. Alright. And gavest him to be meat to the people inhabiting the wilderness. How did we miss this? We didn't put together the pieces. Leviathan is the dragon in Revelations 12, man. Because watch this, man. It says, thou breakest the heads of Leviathan in pieces. What? You mean Leviathan has more than one head? It looks like it. Thou breakest the heads of Leviathan. Not head, plural, heads. Where do we get this multiple-headed dragon before? Remember, we're just talking the etymology of Leviathan, and you get dragon. Leviathan is dragon. And when you get this dragon reference fighting these angels, you also get the same dragon reference here with Leviathan fighting angels. Before they call them stars in Revelations, and here they're called angels. Hawa will summon the angels to enter into combat with the dragon, but no sooner will the dragon cast his glance at them that they will flee in fear and dismay from the battlefield. Now, Revelations, they have these angels, whooping Leviathan, but in this story, Leviathan's glance scares them to death, and then they return with swords, but in vain, for his scales can turn back still like straw. They will be equally unsuccessful when they attempt to kill him by throwing darts and slinging stones. Such missiles will rebound without leaving the least impression on his body. Disheartened, the angels will give up the combat, and Hawa will command Leviathan and Behemoth to enter into a duel with each other. The issue would be that both would drop dead, Behemoth slaughtered by a blow of Leviathan's fins. Okay, fins and scales. This is a dragon, though. Alright? It still falls under the essence of this English word dragon that they're putting on it. Abstracting, alright? Revelations, there we go. Alright, and here you got this great wonder in heaven. We broke that down last time, man. You get the drop. Then behold, and there appeared another wonder in heaven, and behold, a great dragon, Leviathan dragon, having 7 heads. What? He has multiple heads? Really? What does it say in Psalm 74? Verse 14, thou breakest the heads of Leviathan. Multiple-headed dragon here. Multiple-headed dragon here. Behold, a great dragon having 7 heads, 10 horns, 7 crowns upon his heads. This is Leviathan, people. The dragon Leviathan, fighting the same angels. He cast his tail and drew the 3rd part of the stars of heaven, which are the fallen angels, under the barrier, and cast them to earth. And the dragon stood before the woman, which was ready to be delivered. This is their queen. This is their Isis. This is their situation. Delivering Jupiter, or Iesus, or Zeus, or Christ. This is their Zeus being born. And the dragon, Leviathan, is ready to devour it. But it gets rescued and caught up to their heaven of their dog god and their celestial. Alright, because he has to come back as Apollo or Apollyon to get the keys to the bottomless pit. The same Zeus. This Apollyon is who's being born to get the keys to the bottomless pit. This woman is giving birth to Abaddon. who's going to come get the keys to the bottomless pit. And the dragon tried to take him out early just by instinct. And he has 7 heads. Thou breakest the heads of Leviathan in pieces. So not only did we confirm that Leviathan is being given to be meat to the people, and we confirm he has fish and scales. So we know that we confirmed the Leviticus 11. But we also confirmed that further confirmation as the same dragon that's referred to in Revelations. And you tell me how they did a hijack in the New Test and flipped it, but you had to get it together when we got the flow. And now we got the flow, we got the glow. Oh man, we got the glow, man. Love to my sister Vanessa, who hit us with this 7 minutes last dragon we're going to get as a dismount. So let's keep going. And, you know, we just in the flow right now, man. But yeah, we have some great comments, man. Love to Felicia Savage. She says, wow, this is amazing. My uncle used to always tell us about the serpent in the lake here in Clear Lake, California. This is so deep, knowing the history of this place in regards to the Pomo Indians, the bloody island massacre of 1800. Mount Kanati, Clear Lake, is also the oldest natural lake in America. When the gold miners came, they poisoned the lake clear to kill the serpent dragon. Maybe they didn't actually kill the serpent. She could be in a deep sleep or hibernation. As we awaken, so does the serpent. Most mountains, trees are the shapes of faces of sleeping giants, hence the term, don't wake the sleeping giant. Wow. And that's exactly what we're digging on. Love to you, Ahab. And peace to my sister, Truth Lover Vintage. Always drop. While you're reading the sacred text, and you came to the point where it explains how Hawa will create tents and a large canopy with Leviathan skin, which we found out is naturally luminescent for the chosen ones. I thought about the many scriptures that detail how there will be no more ordinary days or nights in Yasharal, because Hawa will create the light. The Creator promised that the sun and moon would no longer be our major light sources. Now I have an idea that it wasn't just metaphorical. And she dropped great scripts on us: Isaiah 60, 18 through 20, Isaiah 24, 23, and Zechariah 2 and 5, Zechariah 14, 7, and Isaiah 60 and 3. Last but not least, straight from the beautiful storybook you just broke down in such a dope manner, Revelations 21 and 23. Luminescence is emission of light by a substance not resulting from heat. It is thus a form of cold body radiation. It can be caused by chemical reactions, electrical energy, subatomic motions, or stress on a crystal, which are all ultimately caused by spontaneous emission. Our dragons were beautiful electric crystal creatures. Wow. And that's what I was getting at, you know what I mean? Thai Battle was on the same thing. And now you see what I mean by these sisters. Our sisters are powerful. Ahab to our wonderful sisters, Eliza Moon, Hawa, all praise Hawa. Man, can you be, old red land in Oklahoma? So I'm trying to tell y'all. MJ Jones, I used to watch Game of Thrones, and now I remember the ice wall and the dragon's eye. Would always get a sense of familiarity about the show, like there was something I should remember. That's what I'm saying, man. Eliza Moon, hotter than Dylan. She said Fifth Element. True that. Sheila Johnson gave the love to the Stewart family. Much Ahab increasing prayers to the Stu family. Hey, surround his wall of protection all around you all. Man, peace and power to my sister. You keep the flow for the soul on the rest. Shabbat up. Yeah, man. All right, man. I love to my sister Kara Jade always, man. Hawa. I got muchas shivers and goosebumps vibing with this drop. Congratulations to our Prince J. Stu and his family, Abrahamily. So much beauty. Shabbat shalom, man. Homicide 540. So Leviathan is roughly 156 miles long, maybe even bigger, considering he needs more than the river to quench his thirst. That's huge. Yeah, I mean, look, we're digging on it, man. Love to my sisters, and love to my sister Carl J. Love to Arthur Scott. Respect to the Battle family. Man, let's get this last one. Jay Garner said, this drop made me think of the old anime version of Dragon Ball Z. The whole story was based around finding all the Dragon Balls in order to submit the Dragon Shinran, to summon the Dragon Shinran for wishes to change reality, so he can change reality. There's also a tree called the Tree of Might that absorbs the world's energy, storing it in its fruit. Now, you heard of the dragon fruit, right? And whoever eats it is granted godlike power, man. So we got to dig on. I definitely want to dig on dragon fruit, man. I heard it was dope, man. You know, maybe it has some correlation to something, man. But you see what we digging on, man? I mean, we just saying, man. We just saying, man. Thou breakest the heads of Leviathan in pieces. The heads. 7 heads. 7 heads. We talking, Leviathan. We're talking the dragon. That's our perspective. We're talking the dragonfly. Your dragonfly. Now, it's very interesting when you get into the story of, you know what I'm saying, how these dragonflies, how these dragons became dragonflies. But the correlating story that I seem to be coming up with, and I want you to dig on it too, is that it was some trickery involved, you know, with all this reality changing and, you know, shape shifting and different things that, you know, these this magic that the dragons had. They were challenged by this coyote. Now, we know a coyote is basically a fox or a dog, right? We've been dealing with the dog people, dog-headed people. The fox is the serpent is the fox. Remember that? We'll get it again. And you remember this, the word dragonfly has its source in the myth that dragonflies were once dragons. Dragonflies were once dragons. Dragonflies were once dragons. But what happened? All right, I'll drop this link on you from owlcation.com. All right. Dragon symbolism. All right. Let's get it. Like dragons, dragonflies have been immortalized in mythology all over the world. In fact, the name comes from dragon. Native Americans believe the insect was actually once a dragon who was tricked into shape-shifting to the form of a dragonfly by a coyote. A coyote, a dog, a fox. Once the dragon took the form of the dragonfly, it couldn't shift back. To the Native Americans, the dragonfly represents swiftness, illusion, and change, which are 3 characteristics attributed to this insect around the world. We're just talking about the dragonfly, baby. We're just talking dragonfly. Look at those eyes. Remember, 80% of its brain power is going into its eyes. And it has 360-degree vision. Unmatched. Even when it's going away from you, it's looking dead at you. It has full perspective. Remember, the etymology of dragon is to see clearly, man. To see. I am. To see clearly. To see clearly is the... So when I say the essence of what's being put on all these things called dragon, it's only about seeing clearly at the end of the day. It's only about seeing clearly. So what happened, man? What happened, dragon? Little homie, what happened, man? Dragonfly? How did you get tricked by this coyote? I don't know, man. I don't know all the evidence, but, you know, we'll just look at this and you can dig on it. So these Native Americans believe that the insect was actually once a dragon who was tricked into shape-shifting to the form of a dragonfly by a coyote. Now, let's look at another site. This is areyourve.texas.wordpress.com. You pull it up. You got the link. Let me get it from right here. I know it's small. You pull it up. Some legends say that the dragonfly was once a dragon, and that dragon had scales like the dragonfly's wings. So remember, we put up the pictures of the dragonflies when you look at their wings, it seems like that must have been the print of the actual scales of the dragon. The dragon was full of wisdom and flew, now listen close, and flew through the night, bringing light with its fiery breath. The breath of a dragon brought forth the art of magic and the illusion of changing form, shape-shifting. Then dragon got caught in its own facade. Coyote tricked dragon into changing form, and the shape of its new body became like dragonflies. In accepting the challenge to prove its power and magical prowess, dragon lost its power. Is that the drop? I mean, we're getting it from a couple sources. Now let's surf that wave. I mean, shit, we ain't never been here before. You know, we looking left and right, you know. We in uncharted territory right now, surfing the way we surfing, man. So then dragon got caught in its own facade. Coyote tricked the dragon. Now remember that in the indigenous drop, the fox was represented as the serpent. It wasn't, this whole serpent snake thing came from them in Europe and their mythology and shit, and how they're trying to depict this, scary, dark situation between this particular dragon situation. And of course, you're looking in the Garden of Eden, and it's not necessarily a serpent, but a dragon. All right, a dragon that's in this garden. All right, so, but in this so-called Native American or the indigenous Ame'rican, we looked at it as a fox, not a serpent, but a fox that was about the trickery. A coyote tricked the dragon. A coyote tricked the dragon. Native Americans believed the insect was actually once a dragon who was tricked into shape-shifting to the form of a dragonfly by a coyote. And just in case we need the reminder, man, it was in a book called A Greater Exodus. On page, where we at, man? Page 53. Let's see if we see it. De la Border, found in South America, an account of the creation. So let's look at this Garden of Eden. Let's look at this account of creation found in South America. And you tell me, which do you put more weight on? What they sorcerized or what they're just finding in South America? Light was in existence before the sun was created, and woman was formed out of the rib of the sleeping man. Barclays found among the North American Indians an account of the fall of man through disobedience. Think about the Garden of Eden. In the loss of paradise and the effects connected with it, the fox plays the part ascribed to the serpent in the Hebrew legend. The dragon was tricked into shapeshifting to the form of a dragonfly by a fox, by a coyote. In case you know, we gotta take it back to the beginning. Let's go. Coyote. Fox News. Yeah, Fox News. Remember, Fox is the serpent, right? Right? Fox is serpent, right? Fox News, get it? Let's go. Damn, Serpent News, Fox News, get it? Shit, right in your face, Bone. Alright, Fox, alright? Alright, I'm done. You know what a fox is. You know what a dragon is. What happened to the dragon? Coyote tricked dragon into changing form. So I guess this dragon thought its magic would get him out, and it didn't. So when you see these dragonflies, according to your legend, they were tricked by these serpents, other known as foxes, in the loss of paradise and the events connected with it. The fox plays the part ascribed to the serpent in the Hebrew legend. We got to readjust our perspective of everything, my people. In the Egyptian legend, the jackal is the tempter. In the Egyptian legend, the jackal is the tempter. It's all about the dog over there. It's all about the fox. It's all about the coyote. They came over here with that. We look at that as the serpent. To them, oh, it's a man's best friend. Hold up, man. Y'all think it's play? This is y'all fault. Y'all doing this. Man. I don't know about y'all, but I couldn't think of nothing better else in the whole world to do, man, but to kick it with you and dig on a few things, man, and get our mind, man, out the gutter, you know what I'm saying, of all the crap going on, man, on the daily. You dig what I'm saying? We can be in our own vibration and create our reality as creators as we dig on it. Stop being so distracted and sidetracked all the doggone time, if you know what I'm saying. Man, I'm trying to see if I got this. Oh, you know what? It's on the site, man. I'm bugging. Drop bugging, man. Forgive me. It's right in front of my face bone. Anubis, right? We just talking dog heads and foxes and coyotes. Love to see FAPS 7865. All right. Go dig on it. And, he's surfing the wave with a theory, that the Sphinx is just Anubis, but the head was cut off and then they carved the face out of this section. But if you put the head back on that Sphinx, you get this exact image. All they did was cut the head off the dog, and then they did a later carving to make it look like it's Egyptian, what I'm saying, whatever pharaoh, whatever the case is. But it is really Anubis. It's really Anubis. Check it out. The Sphinx is Anubis, man.
And I have made a video, kind of the eye test, comparing the Sphinx to ancient Anubis. And that was done off of an Anubis Sphinx that is at the Ramesseum, but it really doesn't look like this one. And this is what we see in King Tut's tomb, the only intact tomb of the pharaoh. But are you seeing what I'm seeing?
Yep.
Take everything above the collar, and remove it. What do you have left? You can see perfectly how the head that we see on the Sphinx was carved from the shoulder region. The headdress would fit perfectly with that. You can see right here. That's the headdress area, and that's the face area. You can see it perfectly. How the eroded monument we have at Giza today, in ancient times, was ancient Anubis. The head is gone, and if you don't think they could get a head on this monument, well, they built the Great Pyramid, so I laugh at anybody who says that they couldn't do that. And remember, what's on top of the Sphinx head that we see today? A hole. What would a hole be used for? As a base support for the head. There is the Sphinx that we see today. Everything above the collar gone. Ancient texts, ancient art, everything from the ancient Egyptians. Oh my God. You just interrupted my YouTube video. But anyway, everything from the ancient Egyptians says that the Sphinx was Anubis originally.
I can't make this shit up, man. In the loss of paradise and the events connected with it, the fox plays the part ascribed to the serpent. The fox is the serpent. The serpent is the fox. The fox is the serpent. You switch it. So when they write in their Christian Bible about serpents and shit, they are referring to the fox. Because all the stuff that they're taking out of your legends was originally a fox or a jackal. Egyptian jackal, Anubis, coyote. That's the serpent of what you consider evil, of what they're coming with their evil. They use your good shit and put their evil shit on it. And it made their shit man's best friend. They're jackals and they're Anubis and they're coyotes. Do you see the switch swam? Are you reeling this? I mean, if you feeling it, you're reeling it, man. And I'll drop this drop, man. I dropped this before, man. This is the greater Exodus, you know what I'm saying? So we dropped it, and it's being explained, especially, you know, start at that 23-minute mark. We don't got time for it. We got to keep it pushing. But you got it, man. So on that, I'm going to get back into this drop, man, that we was at, man. You know, I think it's pretty interesting, right? We'll just jump back into it. Got about half an hour left on it. We should have enough time to close it out today, man. So let's go. Oh, wow.
The melting snow has revealed unusual features on the rock. But to the casual observer, they could be anything, perhaps the result of some odd geological process. But me, I've got fire on my mind. And these rocks look like they've been scorched.
No, don't worry about samples. I need you to follow this line and look for more burn marks. And tread carefully, watch for hidden crevasses. Okay, approximately 2 hours due south from the drop-off point, heading towards the scene of death. Can you take a GPS reference? Okay. Evidence of discoloration of the rock. It seems to have been subjected to a blast of intense heat. It's literally scarred the rock.
These rocks have been burned to melting point in symmetrical lines. The dimensions are frightening.
Hey, listen up.
Lightning couldn't do this. Forest fire? It's not likely. We're halfway up a mountain at the edge of a glacier. The lair is nearby. Was there some kind of fight?
The female returns to her den, a network of caves melted into dense glacial ice. Despite the cold temperatures outside, in here the temperature is relatively warm. Like an igloo, the thick walls retain heat. But the mountain dragon has another line of defense against the cold. From her marine ancestor, she's inherited a blood protein that prevents her tissues from freezing. It has proved vital to her species as they are forced into increasingly inhospitable habitats. Soon it will be autumn, and her metabolism will slow as she prepares to hibernate through the bitter winter.
you choose such a remote and inhospitable place to live? Come on. The police have done their job. Now it's our turn. Set up ultrasonic mapping and grid digital tiles of all the surfaces. We need to get a clear picture of what this place looked like 600 years ago. Can you begin excavation of the floor and the walls? Any extra forensics that we may have missed that may give us some clues as to the nature of the creature? I'm on it. So this was where they found you.
Gridding tile 1, set.
The laser scanner will help us build a map of this place, and then we can accurately record the position of everything that we find.
Mapping results yet?
I've gridded most of the cave, but it's a labyrinth in here. It's anyone's guess what's behind these walls.
Glacial movement. Set those echo scan charges at minimum. We don't know how unstable this place is.
Echo scanning. Small explosive charges send shock waves into the ice. The echoes will tell us what's behind them.
Just right quick, I want to point this out. Listen to what he says right here.
And tread carefully. Watch for hidden crevasses. Drop-off point, heading towards the scene of death. Can you GPS reference? Evidence of discoloration of the rock.
Evidence of discoloration of the rock. All right, so pointed out last drop, man. You know what I mean? That when you're, looking around in some of these places around the four corners or, elsewhere, man, you're going to see this discoloration in certain rocks. You're going to say, like, damn, it seemed like it was some type of nuclear blast or something go off, but you see the symmetrical firing of certain things, and you start to look around and see it all over the place. I mean, how many times have you seen rock that looks like it's been scorched, or just a pile of just dark, like scorched pile of rock somewhere, you know what I'm saying? And now you're getting it, man. The dragons were fighting with you. They've been fighting against your dragons, and the dragons been scorching, you know what I mean? These are battlefields. This is dragon fire. Because I remember walking, just around and seeing this, man. I'm like, damn, what happened to these rocks? I mean, when you even see a pit like this, you can see all the scorching that's going on top. Just a big-ass black spot, like that's just normal. Just big-ass, black-ass areas, and you see it's all, you know what I'm saying, in like a straight line or, some type of horizontal situation, some type of, I mean, of course, you got your quarrying going on as well. You got your quarrying out. All these trees are getting quarried out. But then you see you got these scorch zones, and, what does that got to do with the dragon's lair, man? Are these just battlefields around certain dragons' lairs? Alright. Oh, and love to everybody surfing the wave, man. Getting that Surf the Wave shirt. It's on your way. For that drop trivia, man. When we dropped a 430-second video, we said, hey, man, let me know where the dragon's lair is. And yeah, there might be more than one, you know what I'm saying? There's mainly one that we've been digging on. And love to my folks that, you know what I'm saying, I ain't got my email up to, give everybody's name, but you know who you are, man. I got at you, and you will be getting your drop Surf the Wave shirt, and I'll put it up so everyone can get that drop whenever they want. The Surf the Wave drop shirt, man. That's one of my favorites for sure. This is some drop, man, from Thai Battle, man. On that same drop, man, we talking Arizona, red rocks, and energy vortexes. We're talking Arizona, all right? So when we talking about these dragons layers, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, she's surfing the wave of the Grand Canyon, you know, being a dragon's lair, all right? You know what I'm saying? Or I think my sister even said, you know, the map being flipped upside down, you know what I'm saying? That could be Peru if it's flipped upside down. I say, hey, you know, all I can do is surf the wave with you. You know what I'm saying? We could have multiple situations. We know it's all connected by dragon lines, all right? So now we got this Grand Canyon vortex right here popping off, right? Energy vortex. You know, I'll just drop this on you for you to get, man. But, you know, they're going to, you know, dig into the legendary vortexes. All right, so we're just talking vortexes. My sister even said, make sure you dig on the etymology of vortex. So, you know, I'm listening to my family, man. I mean, this is how we do it. This is what Drop Nation is. This is pure water happening 24/7. It's a pure water flow. What is the etymologies? Vortex. Give me that back. Give me that back. Vortex, 1650s. Whirlpool. Eddying mass. Vortex, vertex, an eddy of water, wind, or flame. So can dragons create vortexes with their dragon fire? With their magic fire flame? Also has to do with wind, man, which makes me think about, you know what I'm saying, certain hurricanes or tornadoes, you know, being or creating vortexes. And you got the water. So vortexes come in different ways. Water, wind, fire, earth, eddying mass. Sounds like a dragon to me, as if the dragon is literally a vortex in itself to turn. Plural form vortices. Yeah, man. All right, you know what I'm saying? So the sisters on it, you know, we just digging on it, sis. We appreciate you, Akati Tide Battle, and all you do for the family, man. Just keeping that heartbeat going with the drop poetry all day. The sister also dropped this Sedona Vortex map on us, man. Many visitors have asked for the Sedona Vortex map. And it looks like, what's that? It's showing the vortexes around. Oh, man, I'm gonna let y'all dig on this, man, and play with it, man. You know I like maps, man. I'll get caught up, man. They got vortex tours. Did y'all hear about this? They got vortex adventures. They have adventures like it's a safari into your four corners, into your cross, your fire, water, air, earth, your vortices. We know we got our vortexes popping off. What's this, man? We know we got our legendary vortexes popping off. You know what I'm saying? So, all right. Remember, man, you got a lot of scorchiness going on when you open your eyes. It's all about perspective. Let's get back into that drop. Nah, man, not that drop. That drop.
Seems to have been subjected to a blast of intense heat. It's literally scarred the rock.
These rocks have been burned to melting point in symmetrical lines. The dimensions are frightening. Lightning couldn't do this. Forest fire? It's not likely. We're halfway up a mountain at the edge of a glacier. The lair is nearby. Was there some kind of fight?
Oh, shit. So they're gonna reenact this fight. And I just gotta get this before, you know what I mean? You know how stuff be coming up as it go. And you gotta make sure that you get it out. You know what I mean? Because I wanna make sure we get it all out, man. What's that drop, man? With the con drop. What's that drop? Was it in the library? There we go. There we go. Man, peace and power to the fam, man. Drop Nation, man. This is a great, drop we keep coming back to. As we grow, man, we can keep reading it with fresh perspective as we get into what this dragon is, what this fire, water, air, earth is. We're talking about the ancient Khan dynasties. And again, when you look up that 1828 definition of American in the Webster Dictionary, you get the copper color races found here by the Europeans, found here. You are the Ame'rican Negro. You are the ancient Khan, who they're calling the Serpent Dynasty or the Dragon Dynasty. Evidence of Serpent Dynasty, perhaps even more ancient than Timur Khan, was discovered in Mexico. Let's get it bigger for you. Was discovered in Mexico by Frenchman Auguste Lepongion, the first Western archaeologist to study the Mayan culture in the ruins of Mesoamerica. Lepongion claims to have been led by Maya natives through the thick jungles of Mexico to a mausoleum near Chichen Itza. And the battle family just went there, within which were the remains of King Cole, who we got to dig on. An ancient, most likely Israelite king of the Khan, or serpent, dragon dynasty. Covering the mausoleum walls were serpentine motifs chronologizing the long history of the archaic Khan dynasty, Ame'rican dynasty, dragon dynasty. One such motif depicted King Cole engulfed within protective coils of a 12-headed serpent, Nonaka Khan, the totem animal of the Khan dynasty. Next to this illustration was a legend which stated that the 12 heads of Nonaka Khan represented the 12 Khan dynasties, which had collectively reigned over Mexico for 18,000 years prior to King Cole. In order to date the existence of Cole, Lepongion followed clues in the Troyona manuscript, which we got to dig on, Troyona manuscript, a Mayan scripture, and estimated that the king reigned 16,000 years ago. By adding 18,000 and 16,000 together, Lepongion estimated that the first serpent or dragon dynasty in Mexico were in existence at least 34,000 years ago. So now they're theorizing that the Khan dynasty had a colony of ancient Naga Maya from Mu. Where's your Mu? Naga. Oh, they call you nigga. You a Naga. You a dragon. It's right in your face bone. And we got before these dragon communities. And we just, Thai Battle just dropped these vortexes in Arizona in the Grand Canyon on us. And look at this. We're talking about the Ame'rican, the worldwide dragon community, since they were set over vortexes. So you're the dragon Khans, the Ame'ricans, and your communities, your dragon communities with your dragons were set over vortexes. All of the individual dragon communities were naturally connected to one another via the Earth's network of dragon lines, man. What is the cross? Fire, water, air, and earth. What is the cross? What is the cross? The crossing, the lines crossing are the energy, the dragon lines. When Quetzalcoatl has a robe with crosses on it, it represents dragon lines, man. It represents fire, water, air, and earth, not Jesus. Get out of the head bone of a hijack. In this way, they created a planetary or plane or worldwide dragon community, Negro Naga, while circulating throughout the larger plane community. The life force would sequentially pass from one dragon community to another until it had completely encircled the Earth's grid. Messages relayed between the individual dragon communities could also be broadcast along the dragon lines. Their transmissions and reception was facilitated by the cone or pyramidal shape of the central megaliths, which thereby function as an antenna. Since Some special dragon communities were strategically built upon very powerful dragon lairs. And I said, where's the dragon lair? And that's what we was digging on, you know what I'm saying, in Peru or Jerusalem, and could monitor the communications and the amount of life force circulating within a large portion of the planetary or plane grid. These significant dragon communities, Naga, were chosen as control centrals for their part of the plane grid and as plane headquarters for the serpents of wisdom. So they were the dragon communities or the control centrals located over these vortexes or vortices, man. The dragon communities, man. Now check it. I'm going to go all the way back to the top of this joint. Show you how it starts, man. Yeah, we just surfing the wave, man. We just surfing the wave. Don't mind us. When we dig on dragon, we dig on dragon. We say, what else is fire, water, ether, and land? What else encompasses all these things? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. Let me let it load up, man. We're going to get a little bit of the, I guess it's the chapter 1. Yeah, man, this is Serpents of Wisdom. You see, it's all about energy, right? You see, it's all about a vortex, right? It's all about you. This is your heart. You see it coming right out your heart. They can't hijack you here. Let's go. Fill me with your heart, man. Fill me with your heart. The Return of the Serpents of Wisdom. Let's go. Copyright 1997. All right. I just want to get it from the top, man. No play. Let's go. Chapter 1. If we're going to do it, we got to do it right. Keep the pure water flowing. If we're going to do it, we got to do it real right. Chapter 1. Many times during the course of history, certain individuals have come forward claiming to have realized the purpose and goal of existence. Through arduous spiritual disciplines, these masters had successfully united the male and female, framer and shaper, principles within themselves, raised the inner, transformative fire serpent from its seat at the base of the spine, the Kundalini, and awakened the consciousness of love within their heart. For these rare individuals, the evolutionary cycle of spiritual transformation has been completed. All right, that's the hijack. Focus on the point of what we're getting at. We're talking about the heart. We're talking about the energy, frequency, vibration. Let's go. Such enlightened men and women have reached the goal of all spiritual paths and have become androgynous serpents of wisdom, while existing within male or female genders specific forms. They are both male and female spirit and master. All right, male and all right. So, dodge the hijack. We talking energy. All right, because you remember how we got on the Isus and how they said that these Isuses were both male and female, and that's what they kind of took as these. You know what I'm saying? That's when you get all this little transgender stuff, man. So that becomes that. Spirit and matter fully united in one body. So that's what we talking about. Spirit and matter. Spirit and matter. All right. The I am of individual self has fully united the unlimited spiritual self or God, and the affirmation of I am that. I am everything. I and my Father are one. continually resounds within their hearts in symbolic terms. The eagle, the spirit, male principle, has fully united with the snake, matter, ego, female principle, and they have become serpents of wisdom. Alright, so here we go about this dragon body. You heard me talk about the dragon body, how you Negroes have a dragon body. We're talking energy, frequency, vibration. As fully conscious spirit, inhabiting a physical form, the serpents of wisdom wield unlimited serpent wisdom and powers, including the ability to materialize any physical object at will. Doesn't it sound like the dragons and their magic? They guarded the gold, the treasures. Sound like you had the same thing on the same whatever, you know what I mean? Just dig on it. Including the ability to materialize any physical object at will, Naga. They dwell within immutable physical bodies, which can survive for hundreds of years. Remember how you lived to use 900 back in the day? Although they experienced the world primarily out of an immortal, fourth-dimensional dragon body, immortal, which means that even though the physical thing lasted about hundreds of years, you were still immortal, like you still are immortal, my Naga. Fourth-dimensional dragon bodies. What does that mean? An etheric sheath. We're talking ether. You have an etheric sheath which surrounds and interpenetrates the physical body. So this ether, this electromagnetic field, surrounds and interpenetrates the physical body. Contained within the dragon body are the supernatural senses of clairvoyance. So within this dimensional body, once you reach this part of yourself, which is what know thyself is, when you know yourself in this dimension. You know yourself in higher octaves. You know your full dragon body, not just your three-dimensional, concave lens situation out of your iris, and you're looking at everything in 3 dimensions. You don't even see 1% of the light. You don't even see 1% of the light. But you do experience the world primarily out of an immortal fourth-dimensional dragon body, an etheric sheath, which surrounds and interpenetrates the physical body. Contained within the dragon body are the supernatural senses of clairvoyance, clairaudience, telepathy, omniscience, omnipresence, which allow the serpents or dragons to remain in continual communication with the subtle realms, which surround and interpenetrate the physical plane. So you already have built within your Naga Negro dragon body. I'm just talking about the last dragon. And when the last dragon get the glow, he's talking about an immortal fourth-dimensional glow, an etheric sheath which surrounds and interpenetrates the physical body. Contained within the dragon body are the supernatural senses of clairvoyance, clairaudience, telepathy, omniscience, and omnipresence, which allow the dragons to remain in continual communication with the subtle realms which surround and interpenetrate the physical plane. If they so desire, they can extricate the dragon body from its physical sheath and travel within it to distant locations throughout the universe. Do you think this is play? That you have this already built in, but you just are unaware. You just are asleep. And that's why they're trying to keep you down and poison you with GMOs and do everything they can to give you the Nagalase to separate your whole, GMAC or whatever proteins that separate. You're supposed to get healed by the sun, but they give you Nagalase and vaccines, and it separates your ability to combine. It separates your ability to combine the natural essence of the sun to heal yourself through Nagalase. Look it up. And if you so desire, you can extricate the dragon body from its physical sheath and travel within it to distant locations, my naga. And guess what happens when you die, my naga? At death? Hawa! Talking about our framer and our shaper. At death, which is why you don't fear death, my naga. The dragons of wisdom can permanently detach the dragon body from its material sheath and relocate within it. I'll say it again, my naga. My dragon. When you die, my dragon, the dragons of wisdom, you can permanently detach your dragon body from its material sheath or illusion and relocate within your dragon body to one of the many paradise realms of the immortals. So it's already encoded. Your paradise is within. Your kingdom is within. You're just looking 3-dimension. Oh, my kingdom is within. I don't get it. It's within my heart bone. Nah, my naga. It's within your dragon. It's within your dragon body. Your paradises are already within you. It's like the Most High has already encoded your reward within you. You just have to find your way back to yourself. My naga. I don't know about you, but I feel like I got the glow. So, love to Vanessa Perkins, Sister V. My naga, do you got the glow? This is a quick clip from The Last Dragon, man. It's fair use and they caboose bone. We doing this for, criticism, commenting, a little reporting, some teaching, some scholarships, and a little researches. Just fair use, you know what I'm saying? It should, give us a balance, tip the balance in our favor of the education, you know what I mean? Non-profit type of thing, you know what I mean? So give us a break. This is The Last Dragon. A lot of our favorite drives, man. A lot of our favorite movie, man. A lot of people dig on this real dope, man. All right, I get it. So let go, man. You got the glow, my naga? I'm just saying, man. You got your dragon body up, man. You got your vortex up. Let go. Let go.
Playtime's over, boy.
Take life one day at a time. That's what a wise man said to me. He said, life and all its complexity is the ultimate test for you and me. When you walk, holding your head up high, for the master's watching you from the sky. I know not what trouble lies ahead.
Yeah, show love.
Before you fight, use your head.
Who's your master?
It's time to leave the
Show
nest
love.
where you were born. This journey you must make alone.
Who's your master, nigga? Who's your master, nigga? They trying to take your frequency.
There's a power deep inside you.
Trying to hijack you, man.
You'll find in time of need. The
want you to see this red frequency coming out, because these niggas know what they talk about when they be putting this stuff in front of you. So he's glowing, and he's going to get the glow, if you've seen the movie. Now, this red frequency right here, when you look at like the chakra chart, this red is at the bottom, right? This is your base. That's your base chakra. So the glow he has is at the base chakra. So he has the glow. This is show enough. If you don't know, show enough. That's show enough right here. Respect. One of the dopest cats, man. Real, in real time, man. Dopest actors in real time. Yeah, man. Show enough, man. Has that red glow, but it's the base frequency. Now watch the color of Bruce Leroy's glow. You know what I'm saying? He's not gonna get the crown, you know what I'm saying, that violet yet, but it's definitely gonna be higher than this red on the chakra chart. You know what I'm saying? You pull up a chakra chart, you see as if he still has a way to go. Like they couldn't just give him the master, the master glow, but he has a very, profound glow. You know what I mean? A very strong glow that dominates Show Nuff's glow, if you know what I mean. And he still has a way to go, if you know what I mean.
Before you fight, use your head. It's time to leave the nest where you were born. This journey you must make alone. Spread your wings and fly, fly. There's a power deep inside you, an inner strength you find in time of need. The like the season, love will come and go. When it's right, you'll automatically know. The world of mystery exists only in your head. When you become one with yourself, the world will fall.
You become one with yourself, the wall will fall, my naga.
The journey now before you is
You see his glow?
final test. You learn your lesson well. I can
Alright, so he has this like yellow, almost orange, like a yellow glow, you know what I mean? So I think that's right. Somewhere in the middle, going up towards that blue, violet, all that stuff. But see, it's too much, man. I mean, he just came in. It's almost like this was his default. He just came into the default glow. So they might have their magic for a minute. They might have a glow that they hijack, but they only got that base frequency, man. They only got that red glow, if that. When you come in here, my naga, man, you got that dragon fire, man. You got that hot dialon, man.
teach you no more.
Ha 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 ha. Sucker.
Power deep inside you,
Sucker
inner
Jack.
strength you'll find in time of need. The Lord. You are the last dragon. You possess the power of the Lord. The last dragon, you possess the
still came and showed him mercy, man, because he was just vibrating like that. Here comes the fox. Here comes their dog, which is why dog backwards is God, because God is a dog or a fox. Let's go. Bling, bling, nigga. Bling, bling. Oh, suck it down. Just gave it one good one right quick. Sucker Tony Jones. Yeah. Man, I gotta go back and watch the whole day now, man. Love to Vanessa Perkins, man. Sister V, man, dropping that on us, man. The Last Dragon, all in her face, bone. Remember, man, it's fair use and they could boost bone. Man, how y'all want to make a dismount, man? You know, we could do it all kinds of ways, man. We could go all kinds of ways. Oh, that's got to do with that. Man, remember, you know, I'll just take you down a trip down memory lane, man. Just remember, man, things are happening around you. It might seem crazy. But don't stop it from happening, or don't stop it from being another perspective of reality, man. You know, these things sometimes are right in your face, man. Sometimes the vortexes are right beneath your feet. You know, sometimes the battlefield is right in front of your eyes. Right in front of your face, man. You know, let's go ahead and make a dismount. I thought I didn't have time for this, but let's get it from here, because, you know, it gives us some more drop on that fox being the serpent. And that's a very important concept to grasp. I know it might seem far-fetched, but it's right in your face right here. And when you put that in there, then you get the fox news, and you get why, yeah, God is God, because God is dog, is fox. Let's go. Wow. Now let's check it. So, the fox plays the part ascribed to the serpent in the Hebrew legend. You gotta slow it down. So you mean to tell me that in the indigenous legend of the story, or at least a version of it, which we can't just throw away, right, because we never heard of it before, that instead of there being a serpent in the Garden of Eden, there's a fox, not a serpent? So you mean someone took the story, put it in English, called it an Old Testament, and gave you a new one? Took out your old covenant, said none of that shit matters, screw all your covenant and your laws. We have a belief now, so this is new. And now we have a serpent. Intro the serpent. Exit the dragon. The last dragon. Oh, but the serpent. But the Bible says the serpent. How do you know that serpent wasn't a fox, fool? The fox plays the part ascribed to the serpent. wait a minute. Ain't a fox a dog? Oh, shit. Ain't a dog a man's best friend? Oh, shit. Ain't we talking about dog-headed? Natural by law. Take it away. Let go. Welcome to Swag Frequency, my people. You know, where we don't stop being hijack free. And choosing up is not a hobby. It's reality. We're walking through the door together. So can we slow it on down and read this again? In the laws of paradise, alright? Remember, barley is found among the North American Indians. An account of the fall of man through disobedience. Garden of Eden, Tree of Life. In the laws of paradise and the events connected with it, the fox plays the part ascribed to the serpent in the Hebrew legend. How do you know we're not talking about a dog? The Egyptian legend, the jackal is the tempter. Is that another witness that we're just talking about? A fucking dog?
Anubis.
A dog-headed serpent? A dog-headed jackal? Let's be clear. Let's be clear.
Go.
I can't make this shit up. I'm reading this with you, man. What does a jackal look like? Oh, damn. Any questions?
Coyote.
It's a dog.
Coyote.
Dog-headed.
Coyote.
Syphilis. Research syphilis.
Oh.
It will connect to 1494, right around Columbus, and we're just talking dog-headedness,
right,
and the spread of syphilis. But let's go.
Look it up.
Oh, you want to see fox?
Coyote.
You want to see dog? Any questions?
Dang.
Let go. In the laws of paradise and the events connected with it, the fox plays, the dog plays, the jackal plays,
Coyote.
the part ascribed to the serpent, so you flip it.
Coyote.
I can't make this. I really, man, this is just... So the dog is the serpent. The dragon might be getting a bad rap, but let go. I mean, they make you a savage. Why wouldn't they make wakey wakey? All right, the fox plays the part ascribed to the serpent in the Hebrew legend. In the Egyptian legend, the jackal is the tempter, the dog-headed. You might know him as Christopher Columbus. Other people might know him as Saint Christopher. And all I do is put in Saint Christopher.
Oh boy.
You start to already get this filth going on, right? You see this baby on his head. But what's really popping with those Saint Christopher? What's really popping with St. Christopher? What are they hiding? Oh.
Coyote.
The jackal. Body bag.
Coyote.
Was Christopher Columbus a dog-headed man like Anubis?
Uh-oh.
There you go. Because you don't have to, do too much, man. I mean, you put up, St. Christopher. get a lot of jackals and a lot of foxes. And all we're saying is, the fox plays the part ascribed to the serpent in the Hebrew legend. The jackal is the tempter in the Egyptian legend. The fox, the jackal, the fox, the jackal is the serpent.
Coyote is the serpent. Why does Drop keep saying that? Why does Drop keep saying coyote on our ear bones? Because you got to remember, the word dragonfly has its source in the myth that dragonflies were once dragons. Negro, your dragonflies are dragons. Native Americans believe the insect was actually once a dragon who was tricked into shapeshifting to the form of dragonfly by a coyote. Yeah, I'm Googling coyote again. So what? Deal with it. Deal with it. Because sometimes you gotta see it right in your face bone. The trickery. This is fucking witchcraft at its finest, how they switch this shit up. Coyote, dog, fox, serpent. The same damn thing. What happened, man, to our dragonflies? Native American, Ame'ricans. I'm just talking about the Negro that got the dragon body. Gotta feel me on this shit, man. Wakey, wakey. I'm just talking about the ancient Khan. Do you feel me? The dragon, do you feel me? The Khan, the Ame'rican, do you feel me? What happened to the Americans? The Khan, the Khan, the Khan. Shit. The Khans, the dragon bodies, the Negro, the American, copper color race found here. The Khans believe the insect was actually once a dragon who was tricked into shape-shifting to the form of a dragonfly by a coyote. A dog. That's their god. Dog, god, dog, god. Serpent, coyote, fox. Some legends say the dragonfly was once a dragon and that the dragon had scales like the dragonfly's wings. Dragon was full of wisdoms and flew at night, bringing light with his fiery breath. The breath of the dragon brought forth the art of magic and the illusion of changing form. Then dragon got caught in its own facade. Coyote tricked dragon into changing form, and the shape of its new body became like dragonflies. In accepting the challenge to prove its power and magical prowess, dragon lost its power. The Negro lost his power. Tricked by the coyote in the garden, the coyote in the Garden of Eden, the coyote, the dog. Who has programmed your mind, and why do you give it to them? Empty your cup. Get the drop, surf the wave. The Greek myth of Deucalion and Pirha is found among the Indians on the west of North America. We're talking about the west, with this difference, however, that it was the fruit of the Mauritania or Mauritia palm, and not stones which was thrown behind to form human beings. The name and the legend are remarkable. The names in the legend are remarkable. A large tribe of these Indians called themselves Taquilin, a word which may be cognate with deucalion. Deucalion. The Indian word means water wanderers. The name Helene, is also found in this language. Helene means man, and the Delaware Indians used to call themselves Helene Lenape. Alright, man. Love the Turtle Gang, Lenape tribe. Alright. The people of all people, the original people, also the ladies of royal birth in the ancient Peruvian court called themselves Palas, the very name of Athenian goddess. Alright, that's the hijack. Alright, so listen up. But the traditions and legends in the Quiche Papal are the most striking of all. So, man, praise the while. We've been digging on that Papal for a minute. So we should be, at least have a foundation. We know what it is now. You know what I'm saying? When these things are brought up, we at least have surfed the wave. So when folks bring them up, we know, we have a reference. Here it is that we have an account of the real original Exodus, the beginning of that long journey which lasted 40 years. All right. The ancestors of the human race traveled away from the place of sunrise and from the hot parts of the earth. They crossed the waters as though there had been no sea, for they passed over scattered rocks which were rolled on the sand. These rocks I take to be the Atlantean or Atlantean Islands. I remember the Atlantean Islands that we got last time? It said which dotted across the Bering Sea. Right. Oh man, we just talking dog headed. Atlantean Islands, man. Oh man, we just talking dog headed. And I think that was referring to the Aleutian Islands, which is actually the other way, man. So, but these Atlantean Islands, Ame'rican, remember how we got to the Ame'rican and what does this got